everyone, it's Bryan Caplan here with the Bigger, Better Biz community, where I equip you with the tools and know-how to grow that bigger, better small business. I'm joined by Jerry Karp. And Jerry, you're all the way in California?
No, Chicago.
Chicago. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. The Bears. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so
We're
you're in
sorry about the
Chicago.
Bears too.
I know, right? Hey, well, welcome from the Windy City. How are you, Jerry?
Great, thank you. Appreciate your time.
Wonderful. I appreciate you taking the time too. I think what we can do today is, you wanted to focus on video. You have a beautiful website. It was the aesthetics are great. It flows very well. I love how interactive it is. And I know that you have the video library. So what I figured is I would show the video library so that people can see how you're using the videos and creating basically vlog posts or video blog posts for the different videos you're putting up. But then I wanted to jump to YouTube because, as you had mentioned, you're using the nonprofit grant, and I'll have a link down below where people can find out more about that as well. But with that, you're probably gleaning some good information on what keywords people are searching for and what search queries they have when they are finding you. So those same keywords that you're gleaning can be used to create more content, blog posts, and even be the focal keyword or theme of a video so that you can get even more people that are proactively monitoring. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So what I wanted to do, Jerry, is I'm going to jump over to the site really quick and I'll share my screen here. So now you should be seeing right here. Let me know when that pops up for you.
Yeah, it looks familiar.
It looks familiar. Okay. So a couple things. What I like to do, especially, I want this to be educational for you. And I want it for everybody that's watching too, whether they're a for-profit or nonprofit. I want them to kind of learn from some of the best practices you've used, especially with your homepage. Because the thing is here, you're using the Google nonprofit ad grant, which gives you up to $10,000 in search ads every month. And so you're working with a team that's sending that information, sending people that are searching for those specific keywords or clicking on that ad to your site. You're doing the videos, you're probably posting, you're doing blog posts, you might be doing social media or spreading the word. Well, if we're doing all those things and we're promoting our organization, are we doing the things right when people land on the website? So the first thing I always look at is, okay, how is the website? What are we doing that's right? And here, first, love the logo. And the name. I talk a lot about brand names and branding. Spotting cancer, that was brilliant. It was a great pickup by you. It's exactly what you do. So you couldn't be any closer on the nail, right? So I love that. Now at the top too, this is your top nav menu. So it's the links that you want people to go to. It's also how you're organizing the site. In one of the webinars that I give for Grow with Google, I talk about information architecture, or how you can structure your site and kind of like create folders or categories so that a user has a good experience and can find the information easily and spend those 5 minutes that you said on the site. But then Google or Yahoo or any of the search engines can come on and know exactly what the site's about, what each page is about as well. So first off, spot cancer in 5 steps couldn't be any more clear, succinct to the point, and you give the 5 steps. You've even color coded them, which is wonderful. And I could click on each one and it's going to bring me to a dedicated page about that step. I love it. Not only are you making it really easy for anyone at any level of life, whether they're a Gen X or Gen Zer or they're a boomer, they can still come on and they can understand. They can click on the info and figure out what they have to do and what step they're at. You've got the Join the Cancer Detection Squad. So that's basically joining your community, your family, your membership. And then you're getting people here, you're giving them calls to action. Spot it, join, learn more about us, blog, read, or video watch. So I think you've got a nice navigation menu up at the top. You also have the Join the Spot and Survive movement. So again, this is learn how. So now what you're doing is you're switching up your calls to action too. Join or learn how. For those that come in with more of a learning mindset and want to be educated, they click there. If they've just been diagnosed or they just saw something and they want to be strength in numbers. They want to be a part of a community, a tribe that where they're understanding, getting that support, they can join. So you've played to both sensibilities there as well. So I applaud you for that. So the site's good. You've got a good call to action. You're using this header image or this hero image well. One thing that I would say that's an opportunity for you in the future, if you're going to be creating more videos, one thing you can do is you could use a slider instead of having a stationary banner at the top. And one of those sliders could have a video in it where people could watch. So right away, you could get them interacting or getting started on step one of the 5 steps. So just an idea where if you did a slider, this is prime space, Jerry. So if we're making people scroll down and you have a beautiful site with parallax effect and all that, which is wonderful, but we're counting on people to scroll down, which a lot of people might not. In this case, it's a more intimate topic. They're probably going to devote more time to learning about it and almost find themselves in a rabbit hole because they're trying to figure out what's going on. How can I spot it and detect, so on and so forth. But we want to ultimately play to people that maybe they just saw something and knowing that they're overwhelmed, overstimulated, there's so much going on in the world, they might be on their phone really quick. How can we get them to take action right away? So a slider can move things so that they can see, okay, I could do this. I could join. I could see step 1. Oh, I could watch a video about Jerry and his daughter that you had filmed in 2016. So we can put a bunch of different content to capture people in their different mindsets and get them to ultimately take action and get one step closer to joining the movement. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So that's the only thing that I would say. And the other little nitpicky thing in me is make this button bigger. It's really small and it's kind of hard to read because of the font. So the 2 nitpicky things would be change the font or at least make it larger so people can read it, and just make the button larger in general so that they know what to do. Because when we look at the beautiful aesthetics you have and the design you've put into it, you have these dots. Someone that's coming on could think that this is just part of the art too. So if we don't make it big and pronounced, they won't know that it's a call to action. And you have to think about every different person, where they are. If they just saw a spot in their stool or something else, what are they thinking? Or do they know that they have to click that? So just take out that kind of opportunity to lose them. Okay. And
Yes.
what I'll do is I'll click to the video library. So we've got your header again up here. Perfect. What can COVID-19 teach us about cancer? Okay, so you've got the videos. You have basically a little treatment, what the video is about. And one thing that I'm noticing is that what we're doing is you're basically, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're using this page where you're kind of piling them on top of each other. Is that right? So one video, the next video, the next video, and we're not creating, from what I'm seeing, a standalone page or post for that video. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. So I'll give you another opportunity for growth here. My suggestion would be, just as you have the blog, most platforms, most web builders give you the ability to either you can tag or categorize the posts, or you can build a second blog. Either way, I would say it behooves you if you're creating standalone pages or posts for each of these videos. And this gets into what we'll talk about with YouTube strategy as well. But the name of the game here is you're giving, instead of it being just a ring in the dartboard, you're giving Google and a user a dartboard to shoot at just for that specific topic. So if someone is typing in COVID-19 cancer, this might show up if we had a page dedicated to it because it has those keywords in it. Whereas right now, the way that Google looks at it is, okay, this is just some bolded text. It's not even an H1 or a headline. We have the video right here, and then we have the word COVID-19 and we have cancer on the page. Okay, but then it talks about seatbelt, the secret you don't know about cancer, and seatbelts. So now Google, being a computer, is just saying, what is this page about? It's about cancer. We know that because we see cancer throughout the page. That's a keyword, but it's talking about seatbelts, COVID-19, so on and so forth. And then when you add smoke alarms, Google's going to be like, is this a smart home service or what is it? So If we can create dedicated pages, it's going to help you with your SEO.
Okay.
And on those pages too, here's what I would do. So I would have a page where we have the title, we have the video, because that's what we want. And the thing is with videos, if we're putting a video in the blog post or on a page, just like you had said at the beginning of the call, you're getting average 5 minutes or more people spending on the site. Well, now they're going to see one post, watch the video. That could be a minute to 3 minutes or more. Then we're going to have some information below the video, a couple paragraphs, and we're going to have how to get started. So now I'm taking that video that you've put time, effort, possibly budget into. We're going to get SEO value out of it being on its own page. And we're also going to get lead generation, or kind of, let's say, community growth value, by telling them, here's how to get involved. Here's what to do. Join the movement, and now go to step 1, or watch this next video. And what you're doing is you're giving them options, but you're ultimately telling them, here's the adventure I want you to take. We've gone through this journey multiple times. Here's what you need to know. Maybe it goes to, a checklist. Here are things that you should print out, or here's a resource guide, or just a list of links. Here are things that you should be looking at, videos to watch.
So here's one of my
Sure.
problems, and is the web designer is terrific, but with all due respect, I'm not so sure they understand how to create videos, but they don't understand how to maximize videos,
Yes.
the use of videos. This is where I need help, is because I had them recently do a consulting view to see how we can make the videos go more viral. And the answer was very amateurish. And that's why once I heard your webinar, it opened my ears that I need an expert.
I appreciate that.
That deals with the videos, just like you're telling me 1, 2, 3 steps here. Is unfortunately they should have been aware of that. But not everybody can be an expert on 100 things.
Exactly. I'm going to tell you, they built a really nice looking site. So they're very good when it comes to web design, front end, and the user experience. I would say that hands down. But if people came to me and asked me about, to dive into Google Analytics and really give them deep dives, I'm not a data analyst. So it's the same thing. It's that they have their core functionalities and their strengths, and video is something, it's something that is prevalent. It's here. Everybody's watching it at a steady clip, but not everybody knows how to do it. And even for me, being a teacher for Google and then working with other agencies, I'm finding a lot of agencies coming to me and saying, we don't know how to do this, and we know we have to get into it. So I would say this: they design a really nice site, but some of the stuff that we're going to cover today too, like that suggestion with the posts and creating standalone pages or landing pages, really is what I'm getting at, is where you're going to get the most juice for the squeeze. And when you're using, the folks at Nonprofit Megaphone, and you're working with them and they're driving traffic to certain pages, that's where you build that landing page. And now it's as simple as, okay, we got, Jerry, we got a new video. Good. Duplicate the landing page, pop in the video. Here's the content. We already know the whole formula. We got the framework. It's just boom, boom, done. And then what I'm going to show you on YouTube is the other side of things, kind of that off-page SEO, or how we're using YouTube, the second largest search engine, to get more views as well.
Yeah, but let me tell you, to be very candid, I have a generation gap. I'm an old fogey who doesn't really know too much about this stuff. And that's why I'm looking for somebody that is not only tell me, but who can do it, or who you can recommend to do it.
Of course.
Because you can tell me in the next 500 days, and I'll struggle to get it done.
I understand. What I think for this, because we're recording it anyway, so that you can watch it with your team, but also so that others can learn. I want to put extra time into this session, assuming you have a little extra time, so that you can watch it, but more so I want you to understand it and have a competency, so that if we do work together, then you know where I'm coming from, and it's not just all gibberish.
Okay.
So let's do this. We have an idea of how we would fix up the videos and ultimately get more out of it. Now, I'm going to give you a couple more things that I would suggest just for the site, because you already have the videos. So we're not even getting into the whole idea of posting up on YouTube and doing all that other stuff. One thing that I would also recommend is once we have those landing pages built for each of these different videos, and like, you had mentioned you're going to be doing one about smoke alarms. Great, great. And I love that because I'm doing the same thing. I just made a video on YouTube about raking leaves and how it ties into your marketing. If you can relate it to real life and people can understand it and be like, yeah, you know what? I'm doing just that. Then you connect, you establish that rapport, you get them to join the community, which is what it's all about. The other thing that I would tell you is once you have those landing pages built, think of it like an asset. So now we can use that asset in so many different ways. The videos that we have up on YouTube, we link back to the landing page. The emails that you send out to the movement, link back to those landing pages. Your social posts, link back. If you're putting out a press release, you can link back to certain pages like that. And on your blog, where you're spending time writing content, now what you can do too, as I scroll down, and let's just look at the genetic testing blog post right here. The other thing that I want to do is embed the video. It could be used in multiple places on the site. So reduce, reuse, recycle, put a video in, and also link back to that landing page. And the other thing that I really want to see, and this is just, again, me looking very quickly, not reading it, skimming, like speed reading, but I can tell right away because your links are red. You have one link about biopsy, and then you have the previous links down below, and then the page links in the footer. So my other suggestion to you is, instead of focusing a lot on creating a lot of new content, let's strengthen the content we already have by adding in text links. So those links can go to the different steps, step 1, step 2, all of that, joining the movement. So if someone's coming in and you're telling me that they are spending 5 minutes or more on the page or on the site, and maybe they're coming in, if you're looking at analytics, you can see that they're going to this page and they're reading this specific post, then it makes sense that we have links to tell them what to do next. They can be text links, they can be buttons, but I would definitely have calls to action telling them, what do you do once you've read this information and consumed it? Once we have a little bit more thought leadership in your mind, what do we want you to do now? What's your next step? Right? So just little things. These are like little best practices, but just you're a father,
Yep.
the little things count, right? So
We have one other thing that goes out monthly. I've created a cartoon character, and that happens to be Oakley, the owl.
Yes.
And it has 3 cartoon screens on each mailing, and it stands on its own 2 feet without any editorial on it. I don't know if you've seen any of them or not.
No, I haven't. I'm going to join the movement so that I can see everything you're doing. But I did see Oakley, and I love that you have a mascot for the brand too, because now it ties it into teens, right? Preteens, kids, and just that awareness, the family awareness.
It's basically, he discusses one subject. The recent one we had, how do chemicals in your household relate to cancer? And that's all. And the next paragraph, he says what, and the next one is take action.
There you go. I love it. And you've baked out that process, 3 steps.
I'm sorry?
You've created a process. Here's the problem. Here's how to resolve. Here's what the effects are. Here's how you can resolve it. So case study, which is great. So even those two, well, if you're sending those out in emails, maybe consider adding those to the post as well. So if you're talking about, in this case, we go back, we're jumping a little bit, but I'd rather jump so that we're getting value out of the session. Let's say self-monitoring. So of course, this is more, again, it's technical, limitation, solution, steps to monitor your body. That's great. Well, what you could do too is you could have your designer or whatever put Oakley into some sort of infographic or something that you build on Canva. We're doing a lot of Canva templates in graphic design lately. So something where you have those 3, you have Oakley now throughout this. tie Oakley into the blog post.
I think
Hey.
Oakley is on there now, on the Cancer Detection Squad. He's all over that.
Okay, good. So my thing would be figure out ways that you can integrate the mascot into other parts of the site. Yeah, but like the blog. I see him definitely when I went on. Let's see, there he is. And I love the animations and everything's great. So that would just be another thing is if you're going to be doing the videos and you're creating landing page, and especially what I'm about to show you with YouTube, then the real name of the game is getting those videos in as many places as possible. So on the video library page, the landing pages, and the blog posts, those 3 areas. So Jerry, I'll jump over to YouTube. And for YouTube, you, let's see, I can tell you. You built your channel in 2014. You have 3,450 views total. And I'm on your About tab. Not lousy, just hasn't been tapped into yet. It's a difference. So because you have good content. So first thing is we're on the About page. The About page gives you the ability to write a description. That description, and I want you to understand too, you got Google and then you got YouTube. And of course, YouTube's owned by Google, but YouTube is the 2nd largest search engine in the world. So those that don't want to read, who want to watch, go here. So this is where I would work with, again, the team at Nonprofit Megaphone. And I would say, okay, what are the main keywords that we're seeing? Where are we getting the best activity? So rely on them because they're the experts managing your ad grant. Find those keywords and then see how you can integrate or embed those keywords into this description as well. Because if they're seeing certain keywords that are getting what we call high search volume, a lot of people looking for it, right? Then those are keywords that if we put into this description, and eventually if we start creating videos based on those keywords, now all of a sudden when people are going to the number 2 search engine in the world, spotting cancer has a better chance of showing up.
Makes sense.
Makes sense. So that's something, use your resources there. And I actually just did another one of these sessions with someone else, and I created a segment specifically on how to find keywords yourself. So I'll be sure that I share that with you when we post it up. So number one, if I'm giving you some homework or things that we're looking at, areas for improvement, if you will, one is to let's improve the description based off keywords and the keyword research we already have. The other thing is you have links. So we've got, okay, the only link you have is visit our website. And that shows up right here too. And so this is when you're creating your channel in the YouTube studio, as we call it, you can customize, you can add other links. So for you, I know that visit our website, okay, but what if it said join the movement, right? 5 steps to spotting cancer. So you can be a little bit more liberal with what you put in here instead of visit our website, which is very 90s blah. Use a call to action that catches their attention. So I would say 5 steps to spotting cancer or join our movement. And then it goes right to your movement page. Because now what we're doing is we're creating content that is based on our keyword research. Now we can have videos go up. People are finding those videos. They might click to our channel. If they do, now they're going to see, we'll talk about your channel art in a second, but they'll see right here, a call to action to join the movement. Now we're getting them to join the movement. We're building your army of evangelists that are helping people proactively spot cancer. Sound good?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We only got to get people to do it.
Yep. So it's all about, for you, you're building a tribe, you're building a community around something that has, as one of your videos says, 1 in 2 males, 1 in 3 females, right? So it's affecting everyone in some way. So we want to make sure that we're equipping them with the ability to take that next step, not visit our website, because what does that mean? But join the movement, get involved, spread the word, right?
And where should that be?
right up here, visit our website. And that is in when you go to YouTube Studio. So let me just open up a new tab for you, and I'll show you a channel so you can get an idea. Okay. Here we go. Are you seeing my channel dashboard now?
No,
You see my picture and a guy in a hat? Do you see that?
no.
Oh, it's
I only
paused.
see
One
you.
second. Here we go. Now do you see it?
Yes.
Okay. So this is just a personal channel where I put up personal videos. But in this case, I'm in the YouTube studio. So you just go to studio.youtube.com. That's your command center. It's just like your website builder where you're adding blog posts. Here we're adding videos. And specifically to change those links, you go to customization on the left-hand side. There's a tab. And you're going to go under basic info. This is where you can update your description, again, up to 1,000 characters. You also can, you've already claimed your vanity URL or your custom URL, so you're good there. And then you can add links. And that's where I could say, join the movement. And then bring them right to, copy that link, paste it in, or Cancer Detection Squad, whatever you want to say. I would keep it short, join the movement or join the cause, and then put it there. And then what's going to happen is that will show up right here. So we're just using a little bit of consumer psychology to get people to take that next step on our channel.
Okay.
So a couple other things that I see when we're looking at the YouTube channel. Number one is you have this ability to add custom art. It's called channel art. So it's a banner, just like you would put on Facebook, your cover photo. So this is where you have an opportunity to show Oakley the Owl, to show, the 5 steps you can outline. You could basically anything where it's going to give people more information. To give you an example, and I don't know if you checked out what we do on Bigger, Better Biz, but like this is one that actually, so you see, so this is channel art, right? And I was very deliberate. This is what you're going to get for watching this channel. And then here, of course, we use a little bit more graphic know-how, and then we tied it to downloading the marketing guide so you can join our community. But you get the idea. I'm telling you what it's about. When you hit the channel, So this is your opportunity again, because you know that people that are coming in are very visual and it's going to be image-based response. Let's put in a nice image. That's where, Jerry, you could go on Canva. So again, like, we're getting amazing amount of requests for Canva templates and Canva graphic packs for the holidays, because everybody's starting to learn about Canva and they're like, how do I use it? I don't know how to build these things. Well, if you go to Canva, and just really quick, Canva's free, by the way, for those watching. It's a freemium, so you get a free version or you pay for the version. But right here, I could click on create a design and I could start typing in YouTube channel art. And it will automatically give me a whole bunch of different templates where I can pop stuff in. Now, of course, this doesn't go with your brand at all, but you get the idea and you can play around. So that's a cool tool, just going on canva.com and doing that. But I highly suggest, as you get more into video and you start putting the TLC into the channel, this is definitely number one thing we want to be doing. What I'll do lastly, Jerry, is I'll kind of take you through some of the finer points of the channel, and then I'll end with how we're going to look at one of your videos and I'll give you some ideas of how we could improve it. Okay. So on the channel itself, you've got the home tab. You already have it set up where you have a welcome video, whatisspottingcancer.org. Notice that I haven't subscribed yet. Because I haven't subscribed, it's showing me that welcome video. It also shows me the title of the video and it shows me the description. So we're missing an opportunity here, because this is prime space if we're driving people to YouTube. Whatisspottingcancer.org, fine. You could even add in a little bit more, best practice. If you're titling your YouTube videos, they could be 60 characters, 70 characters. So you might have a little bit more space, cancer detection, whatever you want to write in there. Here, your description of the video, it's showing me the first probably 140, 160 characters, almost like an old tweet. So this is where you can tell me, hey, welcome to spottingcancer.org. We provide you with 5 steps, or we're creating a movement, or whatever. And then you could say, join the movement by going to spottingcancer.org, and you have this link. One best practice I'll tell you that you're following, which I love, a lot of people don't do, is you actually added in the HTTP so that I could click on this and it brings me. So you've hyperlinked right from your YouTube channel to the website. That's a trick a lot of people don't know. But add in a little bit more kind of meat and potatoes so that you're telling them why they should click there is the big thing, right? And underneath, so we have the welcome video. Watch this. I'm going to subscribe. And when you subscribe, the other thing to do when you subscribe to a channel, if you want to see its content, and of course I want to follow what you're doing, I click on the bell. So now it shows me subscribed, and now the bell is silhouetted and I can click on it. It's going to send me all notifications. So YouTube now will send me an email every time you put up a new video and make it public in my inbox. So another thing that's going to help you that you want to do, since you're trying to spread the word, is to tell all the people in your movement, all your friends and family, that they should go on YouTube, subscribe, and click the bell. And then that way, if they get a video, it might be something where they can just forward that email on. But they're also going to be notified right away so that your organization, again, top of mind, bringing it back into the forefront, and then they might be sharing. And down below, well, one other thing before I even do that. So you have another opportunity here, Jerry. When I subscribed, what should have happened, and let's see if I just refresh the page, if it changes. Okay, it does. So you did it. So another thing that YouTube offers you is the ability to add in a video that you show to subscribers, so that if someone hits your channel, now they're seeing a different video, not what is spotting cancer. You've already subscribed. So again, now here's the opportunity. Okay, the title is what is spottingcancer.org. Well, instead, maybe you're going to use one of these doodle videos that you just did, or you're going to show one of your top videos, or the smoke alarm one. So this is where you can showcase a new video, your most up-to-date video, or a video that gets a lot of views that you want people to continue watching.
The doodle is another, it's market specific.
Mm-hmm.
One is for people that are in gyms, and the other one is for self-insured companies. Self-insured companies.
Understood. And in those cases too, that's where, when I look at video strategy, right, and we're looking at, almost think of it like a yard sale, right? So if I'm sure you've gone to a yard sale, all of us have, and you go up to the driveway and imagine everything's just strewn all over the place, and you can't make heads from tails, and you're just so confused you walk away. Well, in this case, the next thing that I'm going to show you is how we can organize these videos into sections, so that when you walk in the driveway, you've got the middle space, and then you have the furniture, you have the clothes, you have the toys, right? So the same kind of thing. YouTube gives us the ability to create sections for our videos. And those different sections can be thematic or topic related. If you have videos that are about corporate wellness, great. And then it's talking about all those different things. Or if it's a section where we're just outlining the 5 steps, right? That's in your process. That can be a section by itself. YouTube allows you to show 12 total sections on your channel on the homepage. So I would go through and I would say, okay, what inventory do we have, and how can we silo these so that we can create channels?
Talking about dissecting the video.
Yeah, or just knowing, like, okay, join the cancer detection squad. So this would be one of my first sections, because I'd say join the movement, join the cause, join the cancer detection squad. And then, hey, here's the video. That's the recruitment video that's getting you to join. Here's a video about our story. Here's a video about the process. The thing is, these sections, you could use the same videos over and over again. It's just how you're showing them and how you're titling them. And it's as simple as adding them to a playlist. So the next thing I'll show you is I'll actually click over to playlists. And right now we have no playlists. Playlists, just like, obviously it's a playlist, but there's also an SEO component in it. So you're taking videos and you're creating a theme, and you're assigning a certain keyword or a certain kind of topic matter. And as a result, now if people are in that rabbit hole, and let's say you have videos about the early signs and they're 5, 6, 7, 10 videos, now we can have a playlist, the early signs of cancer detection, what to look for. And we play those 10 videos. The beauty of a playlist, if you've ever watched YouTube videos, you know that after that video ends, it starts playing another video. And that
Right.
video could be from a different channel or a different organization in your case. Well, we want to keep them on our content. So by
Right.
creating a playlist, we keep them watching sequentially all of our content. And an example here, jumping back, like for holiday marketing, and I'll break this down. 2021 holiday marketing tips. Well, I did the keyword research and I know people are looking for holiday marketing tips and Black Friday marketing ideas. Okay. Then I can jump in and I can see all of the different videos. Some of these are replays, like probably the one that you came to, maybe. And then we've got other videos about holiday marketing that I'm doing and so on and so forth. And it can even be something that doesn't have to do with holiday marketing, but will add value. And if someone clicks on play on this one, then they can just keep watching, not have to think, it just autoplays for them. So that's ultimately what you want to do too, especially where you're trying to educate people and get them to join the cause and really, be a supporter. So playlists is another thing that we can do. And once you have those playlists, that's where in the customization tab, jumping back, I know I'm jumping back and forth, but under layout, I can add different sections. Here, this is just my basic channel, so it's uploads and then short videos, which I haven't created, but I can click on add section and I could say a single playlist. And there from however many years ago, Apprentice UK season 12. Good, now that shows. So if I publish these changes and I click on view channel, now it shows my uploads and then it shows my videos from Apprentice UK. So I just changed how the channel looks, the layout, so that I'm creating a user experience for my viewers and potential subscribers. Is that helpful?
Fantastic.
Okay. Last thing I'm going to dive in and I'm going to give you one more thing. So we've kind of looked at it from a macro view, the website, how we're getting people there. We've looked at it from videos, how we can use those videos as assets throughout the site. We've looked at the YouTube channel itself and how we're collecting the videos, but now I just want to dive into the actual minutia of a video and just give you an idea. And right here, what is a full wellness routine? Since you just posted this 11 days ago or 12 days ago. So we've got the video. Notice for those watching at home, it's 38 seconds. Question I get a lot, how long do videos have to be? Videos can be as short or as long as you want. If you have short videos, I used to think, Jerry, that by having short videos, that made sense because no one had the attention span. But it all depends on your buyer persona, or in this case, your member persona, right?
Let
Your
me tell
marketing
you,
avatar.
this one is a targeted video to
Yes.
run inside a gym. When you
Okay.
exercise,
Yep.
the purpose was a short, free commercial without, too long a time. We're distracted from what they're interested in watching when they exercise. It's just a reminder that spotting cancer it's like a goodwill message by the gym.
I love it. So if that's the case, then my question to you is, does it make sense that this video is showing up on the channel as well? Do you want it to be public so that anyone can find it?
That was a good question because that was a subject of debate. I think it's important. The second one with the insurance, I don't think should be up. This one should be up because it asks the basic question, is your wellness program complete? And that goes to, maybe millions and millions of people who are doing physical fitness. The objective is hopefully to get this into, LA Fitness and other places. Right now, I'm experimenting. I happen to be in the real estate business. So one of my tenants, who has about 500,000 members, has agreed to do this as a test run.
Understood. So in this case, where it's been of debate, One thing that you can do is if you aren't clear and you're not deliberate that you want the video to be public, just make these videos unlisted. That way you can still use them. You can share the link, but they don't show up in your uploads or in your video section. So especially like for anyone watching, if these are kind of internal videos or they're commercials for a specific geography or building or whatever, then I would make them unlisted, and that insurance video as well. And that's as simple as I'll go back to my channel. I'll click on content. And like, for instance, here's a class where my family's learning Cape Verdean, Cabo Verdeano, which is the language of Cape Verde Islands. And right here, it's unlisted. I could change it to private, where I can share it with specific email addresses, unlisted, where anyone with a link can see it, but you can't find it in YouTube or Google search, or I can make it public, which is what you have right now, where anyone can find it and it shows up on the channel. So just change it to unlisted. And in this itself, I'm just going to kind of break down a few things where, again, revisiting it, putting in a little bit of TLC, you're going to get more. So let's get out of this video since we're going to make them unlisted. Let's talk about this video since it's been up for a while. You've had 476 views. The first thing is, what is spotting cancer? What were you going to say, Jerry?
The seatbelt one, because I
The
think
seatbelt one.
Because I think that one is really well done and should be the one to carry our flag.
Sure thing. So let's look at, again, I like to look at what we've done right. First thing that I'll tell you is that your video, and I'm not playing the audio, but basically you got a nice little like stock audio intro, which is great, but how quickly you get logo right to what you're doing. One thing that anybody watching, and for you as you're making more videos, 5 to 15 seconds is what I taught in that Grow with Google webinar. That's the amount of time that you have to get to the point. For you, seatbelts and cancer, we got right to it. We showed the logo. They know what it is. Now we have the logo up in the top right. We got that brand impression. And now we're saying seatbelts and cancer. This is what the video is about. Good. Now, the other thing is the title, the one secret no one ever told you about cancer. That is a great title because it piques your interest, right? So it doesn't always have to be something that is so rigid and technical. That's something like, what is the one secret? And so the thing that I see is when I'm looking at this video, we're talking about seatbelts and cancer. I would almost, and not saying you have to do this, but I would have the question, how do seatbelts relate to cancer? So if we're using, again, now I'm looking at how the title, think of it like juxtaposition. I'm looking at the title. How does the title complement or contrast with what the content is, the video? In this case, what's the one secret? Well, how do seatbelts and cancer, how are seatbelts related to cancer? Okay, now like I have to watch this because you've just brought me down this vortex. Like, what does it all mean? Right? So just again, suggestion for future videos, I would say, because this is already sat there. You have 1,400 views, which is awesome. Now, when we look, notice the description. So again, with your videos, this is different from the channel description I told you about, Jerry. In this case, these videos, you also get to write a description for the video, up to 5,000 characters. The description, it can be as detailed or as laissez-faire as you want. The more detail you put in and the more time you put into the video, and there are some tricks that you can do and especially if people are watching, look at the videos that I put out, you'll see the different tricks that I picked up along the way, like timestamps and things like that. The more keywords that you put in, the more text that you put in, the more you're feeding to the second largest search engine in the world. So when we're talking about that question that you asked your web designer, how do we get more views of videos? A lot of it has to do with how are we creating more text and more context for the video, because the video is a video file, but the video has audio in it most likely. So we can have subtitles. The video can have a description. It has a title. It has tags behind the scenes and YouTube. Those are all things where now we're adding extra layers and we're making it basically more of a magnet for people that are interested in learning more about cancer or spotting cancer. Make sense?
Absolutely.
So, and here, notice the description. It's basically cut off, like I said, around 140, 150 characters. So you get that first couple sentences to get to the point. Do you wear seatbelts to protect yourself against car accidents? Taking proactive steps to spot cancer can save your life, just like wearing a seatbelt in the car. Okay, good. So it's already given me a little summary. Then I click on learn more. If someone's really interested and they want to know what they can do next, that's where they'll click learn more. Learn about why it's important to spot cancer in a timely manner. We go to the full link, so you hyperlink out, and then you've used hashtags. And a lot of people don't realize they can use hashtags. So hashtags, what we're doing, just like social media, we're trying to get into conversations. And someone could click on one of these. Now in YouTube, they're searching for the hashtag early detection of cancer. I'm going to teach you a trick. So again, this is where I would go to your SEO team, or in this case, nonprofit megaphone, talk to them and see what are the main keywords. Those keywords can also potentially become hashtags. They can be included in our titles, our descriptions of the video, our hashtags, and our tags of the video, or keywords themselves. In this case, early detection of cancer is something that you say a lot. It's something that you're talking about a lot because it's been something on your mind. But what I'm seeing is there's not a lot of people. There's a select number of videos, and it's not a big hashtag. So in that case, maybe that hashtag, we could use something different to try to get more views on the video, right? So if I go back and we say, let's say spotting cancer, because you're using a branded hashtag here. So spotting cancer has these videos on it. So again, and this is what people do all the time, like with social, we gravitate towards a branded hashtag. It makes sense because we're trying to build the conversation around our brand. But again, this is something where that's the name of your brand, but since your videos haven't been seen, you're not getting thousands and tens of thousands of visitors every day to the site yet. It doesn't make sense that we're going with a branded hashtag. So instead, it might be, I don't even know, like cancer diagnosis. And if I looked up cancer diagnosis, 269 videos. The proofs behind it, because there's 111 channels that have created videos for cancer diagnosis. And I can even see from the views, 32,000, 39,000, 13,000, some of them sparse, hundreds, tens, that's fine. But now at least it's telling me, okay, this is a keyword where I can compete. It's not oversaturated. There's a good amount of videos, and it's something that people are looking at. If these creators are using that hashtag, then it might make sense that I use it too. Is that helpful?
It all is.
Good. I wanted this to be valuable for you. I think you're doing an amazing thing.
Well, it's going to boil down to all these great ideas somebody has to implement.
I know. It's always the catch-22.
That's the person I'm looking for that can do this for me.
Understood. I'll give you just a couple more things on the description. You got a link, which is great. The video is a minute long. Okay. So even a minute long video, really cool thing that many don't know is you can link to any time in your video. So if you're talking about right here, you have something where it says, okay, cancer is the same. Then at 22 seconds in your video description, I could go in and let me just go to my channel again and just go to this video really quick. In this case, I could type in, how is cancer the same as wearing or as seatbelts? Just, I know that that's not exactly what it is, but just for time. And then I could do a little parentheses, 00, like a timestamp, 22. Okay. Now I've just put in a link, and if I were to save this, someone could click on that 22. It now brings them to the 22-second mark of that video.
Huh.
So if you have longer videos where you're talking about stats, or you have a video where you're sitting down with your daughters talking about the story, you can basically do a cliff notes where you have different parts. Hey, Jerry's diagnosis, how to discover lymphoma, things like that. And then you have a timestamp. Now what you're doing is you're putting into YouTube, into search, you're saying it has to do with this specific topic, this content, and we're giving a timestamp so that if someone's looking, now your video has a chance of showing and it's telling them exactly where to go to find the info. So that's how you're going to breed more community around the cause as well, making it simple for them to find the info. Yep. And yeah, the last thing, you've got the copyright spotting cancer. It's fine. You don't have to do that. You're a nonprofit. You can. For profits, don't do the copyright thing. You don't need to. Nonprofits, you can, because nonprofits, you can do whatever you want, really. And especially you're putting out so much goodwill, but you don't need to do that. It's already in there. When you upload the video, you can denote that you don't want people using it or embedding it. So you don't need that copyright claim.
All right.
Yep. And I could dive into more, but I know that I've overloaded you. I think that's enough. What I'll do is I'll summarize, though. So to summarize all the things that we covered, the first is, let's go back to the experts that you're working with. And for you, that's Nonprofit Megaphone. For others, that might be your web person. It might be an employee on your team that knows enough that they can go and search, or, even the videos that I have down below, people can watch. So go to your expert and figure out the keywords. What are people talking about? Not what are you saying? What is Jerry saying? But what are people thinking, saying, typing into Google? What's their intent? What are they typing in to find your potential topic? Then from there, we want to start thinking about, okay, how can we get down and dirty and create videos? You said you're funding this all yourself because you want to give back, and I really admire that. So if you're funding this yourself, you're not monetizing the site, not trying to make any money whatsoever, just spreading good in the world, then we want to make sure that we're getting the most for that marketing dollar. So we want to create videos that are going to get the views. I love the concepts of the seatbelts and the smoke alarms. I would say those two are good. And now go back and start looking at keywords and how you can create videos around those keywords so that you can really capture views, and then show those other videos where you're infusing personality and breaking it down into real world examples. So that would be number 2. Number 3 is, you have videos already. Let's just kind of build them out a little bit. So the strategy that I would do is, looking at the YouTube channel itself, I would go through every video, make sure that we're decided these are public, these can be unlisted, then go through and optimize them. So your titles right now, the cool thing about YouTube, all of that can be changed. Your titles for a video that you posted April 21 of last year, well, we might be missing out on an opportunity. Just like I showed you with the hashtags, we can change hashtags, we can change the title, we can change the description, change the keywords. So everything can be updated, and search trends and the way people search and what they type in and how they talk to Google all changes in time. So we can update these videos to reflect that. So that I would do that, number 2. Number 3, what I would do is, on the site itself, create dedicated pages or posts for each of those videos, and have calls to action put in that say, join the movement, do this, get started, check out the 5 steps. So I would take it so that we're using that asset, and now we're driving action from those assets, those videos. And finally, what I would do is, once you have those landing pages, you go all the way back full circle, like a good stand-up comedy joke, go back to Nonprofit Megaphone and tell those folks, hey, now we have landing pages built. They have videos on them. They tell people what to do. Now I want you to drive my ads, since I have the nonprofit ads grant, to those pages so that we can get more people joining the community and spreading the word.
They told me that they're not allowed to do anything with videos.
They're not allowed to do advertising with videos, but they are allowed to create search ads that drive to a page with video.
Okay.
So they can drive to a page on your site, which is really why I focus on build those landing pages or those posts, dedicated pages, so that then that team can say, okay, we're going to create an ad about, real life situations or cancer, or how cancer relates to seatbelts, fine, or cancer prevent, whatever the keywords they find. And then they're going to drive to that landing page that now has all that content, including that video that you put the time and effort into.
Okay. So what's next?
Well, of course, we can work with you. This is something too, where, again, something that I would love to help you, to help see it grow and to help you get the message out and save lives. I think the impact is insane, and the potential impact is amazing. So the way that we work is, I would say we start with what we call marketing hours. It allows us to get to know each other, to work together. In the 15 years I've been in marketing and 10 years I've run the agency, the best way is for us to date first, just like anything else, and then see if we want to keep going. So that's why we did marketing hours, where we can go through, we can audit the channel, we can create graphics for you, we can mock up the landing page for your site, all those things. And we basically try to tackle as much as we can in an hour block. And then if we gel, it's a win-win. Then we just keep working together and we can define a more concrete package.
Is this concepts or doing?
Doing.
Okay.
This video is concepts, but the marketing hours and everything else, we have a whole team that fulfills and actually does the work.
Okay. I don't know if you want to send me a proposal or how you work it.
Sure. I'd be happy to. Yeah, I can. I have.
You're the kind of person I've been looking for. Now the next question is, whether the pencil and the pocket meet the same place.
Understood. So what I do is, certain projects like this too, I take out a substantial discount because I want to see it work, right? So, and knowing that you're funding it yourself. So what I'll do is, I'm going to go through, we have this video, which is great because you can watch it again with the team, but then my team can watch it when we start implementing things. And I'll create a high level proposal for you and come up with steps and a budget.
Great.
And then we can get to work. And we're at that point where we can start working probably later this week or next. It depends on when you want to pull the trigger.
Well, like I told you, I don't think pure digital advertising is the answer.
Nope.
I come from a marketing background. Are you familiar with AstroTurf?
Of course. Yeah.
Well, I did the business plan for AstroTurf.
That's awesome.
And I sold the first 2 outdoor football fields.
Wow.
So my degree, my master's degree is in marketing, and I've done a lot of marketing. And I feel that the single channel is not the way to go here. And that's what I'm searching for.
I agree with you.
Great vehicle. I need the videos to succeed.
The videos to succeed, and it's disseminating the videos in different ways. So right. Really just spinning them out as many different ways. And the other thing that I think would make total sense for you, are you doing any type of webinar or any kind of live Q&A, like Ask Me Anything, where people can come on and ask questions and you're recording?
I don't think we have a large enough audience.
So chicken before the egg, because I would disagree with you and say the audience isn't there yet because you haven't created the content. So it's both, right? And this could be, if you don't have large enough audience, just take the frequently asked questions that you get, that you're seeing, that nonprofit megaphones finding in their research. Let's do those and create just a video. It could be you and your daughters or your kids. It could be you by yourself, just answering those questions. And then that can be another video where it's like, hey, have you found this? Let me take you through. So it's Jerry's story. And then it's like, here are the steps. Here are the things you want to do. Here's what to do next. Hey, so everyone, I want to thank you so much for watching today's Blueprint Strategy session. Again, this is a topic that's near and dear to my heart. And as we had mentioned, it really affects a lot of people. From Jerry's videos, I learned that 1 in 2 men will be diagnosed with cancer and 1 in 3 women, according to that, those stats and those studies. And that's something where it's going to affect everyone. So the more that we can spread the word and we can share spottingcancer.org with people, the more that we can prevent this from really having a terrible effect on ourselves and our families. Jerry, I want to thank you as well. Jerry, can you tell us again where people can find out more information about the organization?
Well, Bryan, I want to thank you very much for the time. You're extremely knowledgeable and got fantastic ideas.
Thank you.
And we hope to implement some of them. And my name is Jerry Karp. We're at spottingcancer.org. We're non-monetized, non-for-profit, with a mission to save lives for people with early detection of cancer.
Thank you, Jerry.
Hopefully we can help people survive. Thank you for your time.
I hope so too. And everyone watching at home, you too can apply for a Blueprint Strategy session. Simply go to bryancaplan.com/blueprint. You can fill out the form and we'll let you know if it's a good fit. Until next time, I hope that you stay well, stay healthy, stay happy, and here's to your success.